The break's over. It's time to resume. We've got our players ready, and I'm itching to check out some more arms. We're heading to DNA Lab. ALUMOX going in. Max Brass, big, sexy. SNG coming in with the Springtron, deciding that it is no longer time to be a hero. It is time to be a heel. And Max Brass is having to step up in the role, in the shoes of the good guy, even though he's technically supposed to be like the big boss. Coming in with the Parabola, very interesting pick. It's a pretty solid defensive arm. It's very fickle. It has really good homing, but it just kind of functions really weird. And you'll kind of see it as we continue with these games. It comes out quickly, but it moves very slowly, and then it tails people. Doesn't really function the same as the Parasol, where the Parasol can be very much function as a defensive arm. But yeah, we'll not worry about it. Yeah, you'll see. So SNG currently in the lead with a not a sizable amount of health. No health. He's actually in the disadvantage as Max Brass is pummeling through 150 damage with each and every made hit. Rush at the ready for both players. ALUMOX just hair's breadth away from getting that in range. Doesn't need it. She's just gonna rush, and she is going to be able to take out the Springtron. And that is going to set advantage for ALUMOX. But she does have the scary thing of SNG actually has the advantage now with rush pressure. And he is using it to get a free EMP charge and trying to push right now. Does get some solid damage. Keeping things going, gets a grab, pushes the Brass back. Continuing to just chip away. We do have the EMP finally passed, but he got 50% of ALUMOX's health off of it. That is a huge win. Even more, 150 off of this pressure, off of the rush still sticking around. ALUMOX has yet to get hers charged up. She finally pushes him back. He might be thinking about that rush now. If he gets a charged toaster, if he gets that Parabola, that is ooh, the Parabola is stuck behind the pillar. ALUMOX does technically still have a sizable amount of health. The big thing about Brass is when he enrages, unless you can reliably knock down that armor, he basically gets double health. So right now, ALUMOX is probably at 33% health right now. We do get the shock. We do get a final hit, disabling that buff. But the downside is ALUMOX now has a rush ready. So this final round is going to come out in her favor. But SNG did manage to hold his entirely. So he is not at a disadvantaged state. They're actually quite even. That shock not going to follow up, recognizing that a rush would have come out in time to be able to punish it. Parabola stopping that grab. Out comes the rush to punish that grab. And that's 360 no scope right there. And a beefy Brass boy looking to keep this tempo going. SNG needs to press that rush button like now. He gets a grab. ALUMOX expecting the rush. And SNG back in pressure land. He is holding his own. Not too far behind, but all the pillars are gone. So it is just a clean back and forth pressure state. SNG just trying to make sure that he's close enough that ALUMOX cannot buff up. Does trade power up states. Who will benefit more? It is going to be SNG as ALUMOX does not time her shield right and actually gets caught off. That is going to be the kill. SNG claiming the first point. Nicely done. Excellently shown from SNG. Very strong advantage right now. Having the advantage of the first win is pretty big. I know a lot of people do say that it's the second win that's the most important. Which is true. I do agree with that. If ALUMOX wins this next game, then they're evenly footed. But SNG still has that tempo. But if SNG is able to secure this next one, he has 3 chances to close things out, where ALUMOX has to win all 3 of those. So this next stage where ALUMOX takes us next is very important. It is a huge deal. Where she takes us could very easily determine if she wins or if SNG wins. And it looks like we're going to be going to Ribbon Ring. Another stage that can work pretty well for Springtron. But it can also work really well for Max Brass. Getting those beefed up states. He is going to be a lot more visible. Being a taller character, those blocks aren't going to hide him nearly as well as Springtron is going to be able to weave underneath. Being a tiny little boxer that he is. This stage is so pretty. It has my favorite music in the entire game too. This song is just good. And it better be, considering you cannot turn the audio off when you play this game unless you want to mute everything, which I think is ridiculous. But that's aside the point. We get our first freeze, trying to follow it up. We get the stun. We get another stun and the grab to close things out as SNG scatters about, panics. Another freeze into the grab. ALUMOX is just like, I'm just closing this one out now. SNG with the jump grab, with the brass grab out of the corner. Looking to keep himself in the fight. He's got his rush ready. Might have to pop it to survive. He manages to eke his way out. ALUMOX keeping distance, and that Chilla just... You know what? I was mistaken. I was mistaken. Apparently you can surprise others as Max Brass, because that Chilla just came out of nowhere and hit Springtron in the face. Both players ready with a rush. SNG playing a little cautiously here. There's no true corner here either, so it's really difficult to pressure and lock somebody down. So it is very much just advantage state. It's stuff like Chakram catching the side movement so effectively as Max Brass. Another brass grab coming in. I'm calling those brass grabs because that kind of grab, the jump grab right there, is so synonymous with Max Brass gameplay. Trying to go in for another grab. SNG just farming up a rush in that moment. Feeling the pressure and is going to set to the magic pixel here. SNG cannot take any more hits. ALUMOX reading the brass grab and is going to take him out, evening the score. One apiece. This is a game, folks. This is a real game. It's happening. It is not going to go just... This is not a swing. This is going to actually go somewhere. We haven't had many of those. The only one we've had outside of this was ALUMOX versus Mr. Table. Oh, Prince and SNG was 3-1. SNG versus Water Foxy was 3-1 as well. But everything else has been 3-0s. Will this be another 3-1, or is this going to be our second 3-2? And it also would be kind of funny if ALUMOX is the only one who gets 3-2s here. She's the only one that gets real games! And you gotta give some credit to her because of that. There's some respect that has to be given out when she's the only one that's going full alt. Looking for our bans, looking for where we are not allowed to go. There's a lot of places. I mean, Brass is kind of just advantage against Springtron. So typically, like, unless it's just like so spacious that Tron works a little bit better, typically Max Brass is better off in most situations. Max Brass it's debatable. It's not 100% true, but Max Brass is arguably a better Springtron. And I don't know many people who would disagree with me. I do not know many who would disagree with me. Max Brass, he doesn't get the EMP, but he gets a supercharged state that also procs off of grabs, so it's even easier to have happen. It doesn't last as long, but you get super armor as well. And your arms are also bigger. And you do move faster. Just not as fast as Springtron. I feel like SNG recognizing that, switch to Lollipop for this next round. Temple Grounds is a very good stage for Lolopop in that she's able to kind of weave around, get some tricky movement plays. She has a lot of agility that she can take advantage of, and Max Brass, while these pillars are up, can really struggle to find his way in as he gets denied by these pillars. These big, long rocks. Nice rush here will secure SNG a very confident point. Now, I think ALUMOX's game here, her game plan, would be to try to take these pillars out. Granted, we are now on round 2. And SNG has advantage, so it's not as easy to want to do that. But it would have been a very helpful plan to try to take out the pillars to prevent SNG from being able to do Lolopop schemes. 2 of the pillars are gone now. It only took 150 health. Out comes the rush. Lolopop going to be able to leap out of the way. Does still take 125 damage. And Brass gets the beef up. But Lola leaping out of the way is back in the driver's seat. Alu lands the freeze. Lands a follow-up. SNG just trying to keep pressure going. Prevents Brass from beefing up. But does lose 300 health in the process. He's got the rush ready. He's probably trying to hold onto it to set up for a KO, prevent Brass's Enrage from being impactful. The last pillar is being danced around. How long will it last? It is gone as the Chakram chops through it. In comes the freeze. In comes the knockdown. ALUMOX has her rush ready. She is much more free to throw hers out, trying to bait something, but gets caught by the Hydra. SNG still has a lot of work to go. That Hydra might be enough. ALUMOX recognizing that it's just gonna pop rush. Recognizing that if SNG gets a good read, it would be curtains for her with that rush. She's just gonna get the point, reset everybody's health. She'd rather have this and be at rush disadvantage, because it is still Max Brass. And all the pillars are finally gone, which means that this is going to be a much more possible game for her, because SNG has nowhere to hide. And we've already seen where it took a lot longer for Alu to be able to get damage. She's already gotten 2 decent hits in. She's locked SNG into a corner because he just does not have nearly the freedom to move around. Even though he has rush, he is currently respecting her. That is just the Brass presence. Finally gets some pressure going on his side. Huge chain of damage. She does not have rush up yet. She's got it ready now. SNG does have... I think he's in range to kill. And stealing away that rush, he definitely wants to walk away with this win now. I think that is going to be it. Actually knocks her back too far. She now has the enrage. But 75 is going to be just barely enough, and SNG will claim a point for himself. 2-1. SNG looking for one more win to advance in the bracket. ALUMOX needs to win the next 2 games in a row to stay alive. If she loses one more time, she is out of the tournament. Does she have what it takes? I think it's absolutely possible. If she brings out the Glusher, that can be another option to kind of lock Lolopop down. She definitely has it. Chopgrum is as scary as ever. The Chilla is the Chilla on Brass. I feel like she's not getting the confirm she's looking for. She's not really... She's throwing a lot more punches, and she's not getting her good follow-through. She's not getting her setup. She's not getting what she's really looking for in this situation, and I think that's what SNG is focusing on, is making sure she doesn't get to play Brass as Brass. And that's a chunk of why he's able to make it through as he has. If he was like letting Sophia, if he was letting ALUMOX play the way she wants, he would be trampled. Granted, Lolopop is pretty good at sneaking out of Brass's pressures because of the way her shield mechanics work. But It's scary, man. It's scary. The stage is set. We are heading to Ribbon Rain as our next arena. Looking to run things back. She got a win here before. She's looking to get the win once more. This time it is Lollipop stepping into the field. Will the clown be enough to be able to stick it through? There's only one way to find out. And it is to Amzu! ALUMOX starting off strong, getting the first nade hit. SNG pushing back with the Hydra, slowing down that rush generation, pushing her back into the wall, taking that advantage state. Needs all the room he can get to keep himself fighting in this round. Lollipop really does not do well backed up against a wall, especially when Brass can just be above. Could not leap out of that, and now it's SNG back in the driver's seat. Leaping right over. ALUMOX going for these grabs a little two-handedly and getting punished each and every time whenever she's got advantage. Just wants to keep that Brass tempo. And they're scary, it's strong, but sometimes it's not the right choice to make. Another 120 damage from that nade. Out comes the rush, recognizing that SNG cannot answer that situation. Pops rush. Baits out the rush! ALUMOX has the lead, and she is going to secure it, armoring through all of SNG's furious swinging, and burns him down with a chakram. Running into this next round, ALUMOX at the back heel, SNG pushing back quite effectively here. Getting some solid hits in and just making sure that she's not able to get in the way she wants. He's got his rush just about ready. She's still got maybe about 10 seconds to go, depending on how this pressure play goes. Shield at the weekend could be a really good chance for a shield breaker play from SNG, but she does manage to make the recovery. SNG, oh no, she's still very vulnerable. He could just take her out right now. He wants to hold onto that rush though. So he is going to hold on. ALUMOX, not finding a way through, is going to blow herself up. And that is going to be SNG balancing the score out. We are on match point. This might be ALUMOX's end. ALUMOX trying to find her way, and she's playing pretty patiently here, waiting things out, using the shield smartly. And just kind of weaving through with this huge open space, getting a little bit closer, recognizing that SNG is the one backing up. If she just can play this confidently enough, if she can play it aware and not get chipped away by these nades, she might be able to bring another point to her name. Out comes a super aggressive rush, 360 damage right through the kisser. And now she is in advantage, but just barely. SNG is likely going to want to try to push in to get his rush. But if he's not careful, these nades are going to hit. This chakram's going to chop! A light hit, a light tap will interrupt that attack. ALUMOX playing things very calmly. Sets SNG to critical. SNG can't jump. He can't attack. He's down. ALUMOX balances the score out to a piece. I love Max Brass so much. He's got such great voice lines. My favorite one is when he yells magic muscles. He'll just be like, magic muscles! And it's so good. It's so good. It's just beautiful. Mwah. I love it. I love it so much. So many beautiful clips. Share them around. Show the world how cool ARMS is. Speaking of cool, we're going to the grounds, the temple grounds. We're rocking it out at the temple ground. We're getting tribal over here. I don't know. That sounds stupid. I sound dumb. This is going to be a pretty cool match, though. I'm curious to see if she's going to stick to brass. SNG making a swap to Springman here. The upstart looking to take down the crown, claim it for himself. Chilla, Slapamander. I love that loadout. Always a delight to see the Slapamander. Always makes me happy. Nice 150 damage to open things up for ALUMOX. The Slapamander is definitely a good arm for this stage. I feel like Lollipop was a better choice. But I can't say no to more Springman. SNG trying to... I imagine SNG focused more on trying to mix up the situation. Fury that the Lollipop is getting red now and choosing a new character and playstyle approach. Going in with the bread and butter boy. Getting powered down by a nade rush. 210 damage, just narrowly missing out on getting... What is that? 90 damage off of the finishing touch of that nade. It would bite. And with him having his rush still, he has the opportunity to try to bring things back. Looking to keep this tempo, though. Looking to make sure that ALUMOX gets knocked to critical so he can burn through as much of that health as possible. Now might be the time. Goes for the grab. This is his chance. He might be able to get away without it, too, though. And you can tell he's thinking that. He's a greedy boy. He's a greedy boy. He manages to secure it, and he keeps the rush. We are once again on match point. And if you're worried about those clips disappearing, don't worry. Those clips are permanent. That link leads to the clip forever. It's always there. So you could just look at it whenever you want. I think you can also download it. Like, the option's right there when you open up the clip. SNG trying to keep pressure, keep advantage from this rush. Trying to utilize its pressure and just make sure ALUMOX continues to play it safe. Definitely the right call, forcing her to have to play more patiently, more slowly, and not be able to just, like, wing it. Makes it a lot easier for him to kind of fight out. Because then he can kind of be the one making the calls, making the stronger moves. Where now that she's got rush, she knows she has a safe outing. So if she needs it, she can pop it. Both players at 50% health. Both looking for a way to close this out. ALUMOX got him just a little bit lower. She would have to win this round and the next. SNG does not have KO potential from this rush yet, but now he does. That rush can kill, and ALUMOX must respect it. Out comes the rush. ALUMOX wins the fight because of just that heavier weight from the Chakram. A charged Slapamander. The big thing here is SNG does not have to worry about being uncharged. That Slapamander will kill if it connects. ALUMOX must respect it, and she doesn't! She tries to leap out, but she is too big! SNG lands one final hit. And this temple bows to its ruler, SNG, who now advances to the lower semifinals. ALUMOX, unfortunately, is knocked out.